Right, now we hope that many South Africans know what it's like to be a pension fund member, retirement fund member, and to pay your money every month and plan towards your retirement. And we're going to be talking the asset choice that you get in such a fund. We welcome on the line Walter van der Merwe, CEO of FedGroup Life. Welcome to the show, Walter.
Thank you very much. Nice to be with you.
Great. Thanks, Walter. Now, you join a retirement fund. What kind of asset choice does a retirement fund member typically get offered on sign-up?
They provide it with an option whereby they can choose their own portfolios, for example, conservative, moderate, aggressive, and they pay an additional fee for this. We've come out very strongly and said this is not the right way to go about it, that there should be a portfolio that's set up whereby the assets are invested by expert asset managers to ensure they achieve their objectives in terms of maximizing their retirement savings.
Right now, Walter, is simply opting for member choice a done deal? Is that the end of it? Or are many people actually paying for member choice and simply defaulting to a standard portfolio?
It happens that they charged extra for that choice, for that privilege, and the reality of it is substantiated by a recent survey that was done by Sanlam that 70% of these members just default to the standard portfolio.
Now, 70% is a huge chunk. Walter, what are you actually supposed to do if you choose this option? What is your responsibility?
The responsibility is significant in that you as a member, regardless of your career or expertise, now have the responsibility to choose for yourself what's most appropriate for your own retirement savings. And for that privilege, you also charged an additional fee.
Now, are members usually able to adjust those asset allocation decisions whenever they like?
They typically can do it monthly. The reality of it is that they don't actively follow and check to see what their own risk profile is and where their retirement savings are at. So even though they're given the choice, the difficulty is that they don't have the expertise or ability to perform those functions. Again, this independent survey has substantiated this.
Now, Walter, you say this option of being allowed to make your own choices of underlying assets in which you're invested actually costs more because you're forcing the administrator to follow your individual orders on your behalf. What kind of fees can you end up paying for this?
What we've seen in the market is the fees can vary from, say, 0.5% of your retirement savings to as high as 1.5% of your retirement savings will be charged as an additional fee for this privilege.
Okay, now, surely the whole point is that decisions are meant to be made with the aid of an advisor. What is going wrong then? And where's the evidence that it's not serving retirement members well?
My view is that, choice is a good thing. We're not trying to rob people from choice, but to have the right choices for the right things. That's what it's about. So we as retirement savers, there are experts in the market that look after our assets, and their role is to ensure that those assets are invested correctly. For that, they earn a fee. What's gone wrong is that the responsibility has been passed back to the members to say that we as retirement savers now have a choice to choose where we want our assets to go. We charge an additional fee for that. We're not the experts. We don't have the knowledge to determine where our retirement savings should go. We don't actively manage those choices to ensure that our assets are in the right place. We're not qualified to do so. So in our view, in FedGroup's view, where things have gone wrong is that it's been marketed that it's a good thing to have this choice because it's a way of selling the product. In fact, it's a feature that should not be applied. It's a feature that's a bad practice and should be stopped. It's not in our best interest to have this option.
But now, if you're calling for the option to be scrapped, are you not drawing down every retirement investor to the lowest common denominator? And as some people would like to defend their right to choose what's good for them, and consumer rights seem to be heading in that direction in general.
Consumer rights are good. Again, choice is excellent. Where you have the expertise and the ability to make the right decisions. An example from the medical industry that I use is where you've got a medical condition and you call on a medical expert to assist you with that. If he says to you or she says to you, I can treat you and this is what it's going to cost, Or they say to you, I'll give you the choices for your treatment. I'm going to charge you more for that, but it's up to you to apply the treatment. Surely we would go for the first option. We wouldn't try and perform functions that we're not qualified to perform and be charged an extra fee for it.
Right. I think this totally reflects the seriousness with which most employees take this, i.e. not very seriously. Walter, what do you think the chances are of policymakers listening and going back on their decision to allow members to be in charge of asset allocation? Is the industry lobbying for such a change?
There's definitely some lobbying going about. Obviously, those that have chosen this route, for them it's more difficult to undo the message that they've placed in the market. But certainly from employers, from members, they're asking the difficult questions to say, this is not the best for us, certainly it must be changed. So there is a lobbying, there is pressure in the market to change this practice.
Right, I think the message to everyone out there is read the fine print and don't make those decisions yourself. That's the word from Walter van der Merwe, CEO of FedGroup Life. Thanks for joining us this afternoon, Walter. After this break, we're going to be